Hey, we're on.
How about it?
Good morning.
I mean, I guess you can call it that, depending on what time you woke up.
My biological clock stopped ticking, I guess.
Welcome to the pregame show presented by
Mad Skills
Electric.
Mm-hmm. All day long.
That's it. That's it. So we're just having a little pregame emphasizer, just letting you guys get caught up, get signed in. Mm-hmm. Make sure you submitted some catch of the week photos.
Yep. I'm waiting for everybody to share it, share the feed.
That's it. That's it. Got a good show tonight. Talking teeth. A lot of teeth.
Toothy critters.
Yeah. Things that bite.
Mm-hmm. Not little ones either.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Nope.
Let us know how y'all did this week. Got any questions, comments? We'll be here for another minute or two. Just giving everybody a chance to get their pregame on.
Yep. Get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Get the share on.
Got a good show coming up.
Oh, yeah. And lots of information about some, I guess we're going to be talking about sharks.
Yeah. Pokey things.
Good place for it.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah, now we are seeing this week. Mm-hmm. Piles of sharks out there.
Yeah, we'll see them all summer and probably all through the fall, too. So
yeah.
We usually don't see them go away until mid-fall.
Until every last turtle's gone.
Yep.
So where do they go?
Warmer waters. Heading south.
Deeper south.
Yep. I don't blame them for not sticking around either.
No, so come September, that water gets mighty chilly.
It drops down quick.
Yep, there's some big sharks out there, too. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I never realized they were that big until about 2014. I put a new motor on my boat and went out to go break it in. And just out in the foul area, just putting around, going from rock pile to rock pile. And sure enough, saw a big tiger shark that was as big as my boat.
There's some good ones out there. I remember, what was it, like 8 months ago, Misty Kelly had that video of it, tiger shark attacking her her trolling motor.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah, comforting.
Yeah, they're out there. They're
Ready
all
for
over
scallops.
the place. Yeah. Yeah, they don't stick around scallopers too. Very seldom do I see sharks in there. If they do, they see you and they take off.
There's a whole lot of commotion happening.
Do you know there's
too much going on.
never been a recorded shark attack in Citrus County?
1982.
Recorded?
Yep. Google it.
Really? Really?
I did check.
Where at?
It just said out of Crystal River.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't, from what I understood, it wasn't a piece missing. It was like a nibble. Like just a bite, and that was
I wonder if it was a
I'm just saying.
A frisky husband.
Yeah. Could have been provoked. You never know.
Yeah.
Where are you getting your data from, Billy?
Google.
The deep, dark, black web.
1982.
I want to say it was 1982, I read.
Yeah.
What did you search, John?
Citrus County Shark Attacks.
Tried
In
1982.
1982.
Make sure you guys are getting checked in, shared, like these, and you may win something tonight.
I've never been bit by a shark.
That's probably a good thing.
Been hit by lightning. Never been bit by a shark. So
That explains a lot.
that
It
does.
That's why
You
you're
got hit by lightning, but never won the lottery.
Twice.
Brutal.
twice.
Yep, never won the lottery either. Yeah. Never got bit by a shark.
Hit by lightning twice.
Yes. Not at the same time. A couple years ago.
Two strike.
That's why he's a ball of energy.
And it was neither one of them was a direct hit. Both
I have
indirect
felt the
hits.
heat from lightning, but never been hit.
Yeah, the second one I was deaf for probably about
So
I don't know.
What you found?
apparently the shark attack in 1982 was from a great white in Crystal River.
Citrus County.
Okay, so I
That's
did
what
not.
AI came up with.
AI.
So
yeah.
I think it's probably
A great white. I don't know about that one.
His name was Louis Archer Boren.
The shark's name was there?
No.
I got bit.
It's estimated between 17 and 19 feet long.
That's
So he
pretty
must have been about 80 to 90 miles out. As I know they've been pinged off our coast, but not that close.
Yeah.
I want to say Catherine, what was she, like 18 miles off the coast?
The one a few years ago?
Yeah.
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 I want to say it was either 16 or 18 or...
Yep.
Good hike out there.
I remember one of them was off the coast of Jacksonville, right at the beach. Right on the breakers, like in 6 feet of water. It
Yeah.
was a big one too.
Wow.
Customers and I were talking about that today about New Smyrna. I guess she grew up over there and swam in that water. They used to swim out, and she was like, it wasn't until I was in my mid-30s that I found out that we lived in the shark bite capital.
Yeah.
Like, that's comforting. It's probably a good thing you didn't know.
That's right in the middle of a mullet run, and of course there's going to be sharks out
Oh,
there.
yeah,
You're gonna-
absolutely.
and everybody's surfing and swimming out there.
Playing in the crash of the waves.
Yeah.
So if you Google Crystal River shark attack, it says there haven't been any recent reports of shark attack activity.
Oh, that's good.
Unreported. Yeah.
Nothing recent.
That's good.
As long as we stick and keep it that way.
Yeah. Don't forget to share this feed.
Don't feed the share, though.
Yeah. That's it. For sure.
All right. I think we're ready.
Are we ready? I
think we're ready.
Ready.
Let's get the show on the road.
Here in Florida, every name tells a story. Just saying Ian, Nicole, or Michael brings about strong memories. But then there's Adam. How are you? Better not see you. And Gary. Hey. Together, their teams helped rescue over 3,500 people. And Vicky. She used her food truck to feed the community.
Thank you so much, guys.
And Andy. He flew medical aid to devastated communities. But then there's Shane, Clyde, and Robert. Together, they have more than 60 years of storm experience. They stand with an FPL team of thousands, ready to respond. So as the next storm approaches, just know we're prepared. Here in Florida, every name tells a story, and every name is important. Because together, we can weather any storm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Welcome to
The Fish Talk Live.
the Fish Talk Live. Presented by some amazing sponsors. There's one of them right there. Power Pull, we guess Seakeeper, and Mad Skills Electric, electrifying the pregame show. All kinds of shark stories.
True or false? Who knows?
So there was a shark attack. Yeah, I got attacked by a shark, Billy.
When was this?
Listen, it was last year, scallop season. And I have proof too. But it might be a shocker. I got this finger taken off.
It might be the shocker.
I get it. I'll be here all day.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
How about that airline food?
All right, y'all, it's Shark Week right here on Fish Talk Live. I feel like there's a lot of good conversations that come out of Shark Week.
Absolutely is.
We're going to talk about some conservation stuff, not so much with the sharks themselves, but some stuff that we can avoid.
While you're fishing other species on how not to get taxed.
Exactly. You always see the videos online of people getting their fish, bit in half and them laughing and stuff. And, nothing's avoidable, especially in the water.
Yeah, not everything is.
Yeah, exactly. Not everything's avoidable, but there is some scenarios we're going to bring up here in a little bit on how to avoid those, wasteless catches going in sharks. But besides that, Billy, let's start with the airboat fishing report. And let's kind of highlight where you're seeing some of these bigger sharks. Also I want to see too is I do notice this time of the year, a lot of people, a lot of guides especially, are red fishing. They're having these issues with the sharks they talk about. And I want to see if it's relatable to a specific area or if it's issues just throughout. Because this time of the year, I don't fish the outer islands. Yes, that is where the abundance of redfish are.
Yep.
But, there's an abundance of sharks, and there's an abundance of boats out there.
There's a bunch.
So I like to go get lost and, either go south or north. Don't encounter those big sharks. So, Billy, where are you seeing the bigger sharks? Let's start with that with your report.
The larger sharks that I am finding are going to be when I will end up leaving like the Gray Mare area, passing Rock Island, and working my way towards either Bird Key or Tank.
Okay.
Playing through that grass flat, crossing the Rock Island channel. I don't see a whole lot through the channel per se, but playing in the grass flats that are off of it, there's some rather large sharks. And I mean anything from, we'll call it 5 foot to probably about 9 or 10 at times. There's been some good ones. Like last year's hammerhead that I found was in between Tank and Bird Key. And that one with Captain Brandon was pushing every bit of 10 to 11. That was a good size hammer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I remember that one.
Yeah. And the other spot, just heading the opposite direction, heading south. I like to leave, Crawl Key, and work my way towards the Homosassa Channel or just off of it. And there's a good amount of sharks through there. They're not as big as what I've seen to the north side, but a lot more of an abundance of shark. And then as far as mass majorities, right there in the middle of the reef.
Gotcha.
The past 4 days of running tours, I've been able to chase sharks about every tour.
Really?
Yep. Anything from 4 to 6 foot in length. Most of them are lemons and bowls, but it's been pretty fun. Yeah, the clients get a good kick out of it, trying to make sure the sharks aren't at the top of the food chain. Let them know there's other things out there.
Yeah, that's my favorite, especially running airboat tours, is you always have the people that are, one, surprised that we have the size of sharks that we do.
Especially in the shallows.
Especially in the shallow waters, but two, to know that they're really not a threat. They're really not. I mean, the best way to explain it is we have shallow, clear water.
Yep, crystal clears.
Crystal clear. So the shallow part, to me, there's less commotion in the water. Mm-hmm. You go to the beaches where it's more steady drop off. You have a lot of silt. And the other thing is that we have hard bottom. So when you have that soft bottom, like on the other coast, that brings up the silt.
Absolutely. It becomes muddy, cloudy waters.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but sharks do not have good eyesight.
Not from what I've understood.
Right, John?
They're running off of
No, they do not have good eyesight.
Yep, running more off of like a sonar system.
Yep.
Yes.
They're feeling vibrations.
So when they identify what they're not used to, they're way more afraid of us than we are them.
Absolutely.
Promise you that. And you can tell, they drift on an airboat. If you're real quiet and you're drifting, and as soon as they sense it, they're gone.
Gone as fast as they can get out.
That's it. And then going back to what we were talking about earlier with, fishing situations and, this is where you're going to want to loosen your drag. If you're fishing outer keys, you're going to want to loosen your drag. Here's the reason why. When you start horsing these redfish in, you're bringing them up to the top. They're sitting there smashing the water.
Yep.
This is the time of the year that I really highlight to my clients, enjoy the fight. If
Keep the fish below the surface.
Exactly, yeah, because it's less likely to entice a shark to come over. When you start causing all the commotion is when they're going to come over.
Yep. And another thing, once you do see a shark sighting and you have a fish on the line, some of the smartest things to do if that fish has life to it is just open the bail.
Yep.
Yep. Let it do its own avoidance and catch it on the back end and reel back when that shark gets outmaneuvered.
Exactly.
You know, you see it a lot when it comes to people tarpon fishing. You know, that's the first thing they do is just go ahead and flip that bail, let that tarpon try to outrun it. It's one of the better ways of giving that fish a chance.
Yeah. And the other thing I like to do too is, you know, I'll pull my chum bags out of the water, especially when we're out scalloping. I put all the chum bags. Mario, what's a couple suggestions you have that can avoid fishing the outer keys, you know, whether it's more populated with the shark? Stuff that you would do to avoid a casualty of a redfish not ending up in the cooler.
Yeah, quit paying your taxes.
Well, for one thing, I would, if I'm fishing for redfish and I see 1, 2, 3 sharks swimming around the boat, I pick up and leave. That's
a great
easiest way to do it. Is just pick up and go to another island. Those sharks know that those redfish are there, and they're gonna stay there as long as the redfish are there. That's what they're eating. That's their food source. So avoid it altogether and just pick up and go to a different island, or even stay on the same island. Maybe go to the other side or a different corner or something, just to stay away from where the sharks are at. That being said, all the things that you were saying, open the bails. If you get hooked up and you have a shark doing a beeline right towards your fish, open the bail, let that fish swim away. Loose drag is good. Like I said, when you're hooked up, you want to let that fish run as fast as it can as soon as you see that shark. Always keep your head on a swivel too when you're fishing. You got one hooked up. A lot of times people don't pay attention to their surroundings when they're fishing, and as long as they understand that there's sharks there, they'll look out for them. And if you look out for them, you see one coming 15, 20 feet from where your fish is at, just open the bail and let that fish swim back into cover or swim out of the way, one way or the other. That's the best way to do it.
I like that.
Playing out there, Mario, what are some of the common species that you get that are trying to tax you?
Oh Lord, there's a plethora of them, but the more common ones, we see a lot of tiger sharks, we see a lot of bull sharks, we see black tips, but the most common ones that I've seen in the past couple of years has to be a lemon shark.
Yeah, you're right.
There's been a lot of lemons out there.
Loads and loads. They're probably, out of all the sharks I see, I bet you 50% of them are lemon sharks.
And something I've noticed over the past couple of years of encountering the lemons is there's quite a few of them that are actually swimming in schools. Mm-hmm. Like there's 2 to 5 of them, and they're fin to fin, just making a wall. And I didn't realize I did that.
Then they're very smart. As a shark goes, what I see a lot is those lemon sharks will sit under your boat and wait for you to pull fish in, and they'll come swim out from under your boat and grab your fish while it's right next to the boat.
Under,
yes, and it's kind of freaky when you go down to grab the fish. That's why I keep the net on the boat all the time. You know, it's when the sharks come around. You know, I don't want to lip the fish, you know, and pick them out of the water, because there's always sharks underneath my boat, and I don't know. I learned to just scoop them up with a net. It doesn't matter if they're little or if they're really big.
Best to keep the digits.
Yes, yeah. I like to keep all of my fingers intact. Yes.
God, do you guys remember that video that went viral of the guy that it clamped down on his pinky finger?
Oh yeah, that was down in Everglades or something.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one. I'm pretty sure he didn't get that back.
No,
I don't think he did.
I found your shark attack, Billy.
Did you?
Yes, but there's actually 2 of them.
Oh, comforting.
So July of 1991 was 150 miles off our coast. They counted it as Crystal River.
Interesting. 150
miles, 91, unprovoked, swimming from a makeshift raft after his fishing boat sank. Punctures in lower abdomen and groin, 6-foot black tip, right? Recorded attack number 2 off of Crystal River. The boat capsized. This was due to drowning, and the body was scavenged by a tiger shark.
Okay.
So there's your
fun fact of the week.
August of 1984 is when that last one happened.
84, okay.
And then the other one was May of 97. That was 17 miles off of Weeki Wachee. Guy was spearfishing.
So I'm gonna still go ahead and say no recorded shark attacks here.
No, not within scallop
within
grounds
state
or 20
waters,
miles.
Yeah, no, Wiki would be the closest one.
Yeah. Yeah, can pretty well safely say that.
And for the amount of sharks that we see,
It's pretty
that's
wild.
very surprising that we haven't had an attack.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Gary was saying, the crystal clear waters, the abundant food source, I just don't think we're on the menu.
Right.
I know there was this was 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, maybe scalloping, where the abundance of scallop, Sean Daughtry found them right there by Green Key.
Inside.
Inside,
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
we've never picked scallops before. And they were loaded in there.
Big one.
Huge ones too. I was not comfortable scalloping there because it was
eerie.
silty. Yeah,
It
and that's
was
and that
eerie.
spot right in there. You're right, Billy. You were saying this earlier. That's an area you see a lot of shark, a lot of stingray.
Yeah.
There's no scallop in the world worth it to me. Backtrack on something. I really thought that when you said Marrio, what are some of the main sharks? What types of sharks that you see that are taxing you? I really thought he was going to say the ex-wife shark.
Not anymore.
Hey, cheers to that.
No, we took care of that.
That's funny.
All right. Let's hit a commercial break, and when we come back, I want to see the Extreme Decalz catch
Yes,
of
please.
the week. Love this part.
What's going to be impressive, I think, is the hole shot. Like when we get that hole shot stuff dialed in and get the trim command curve all the way up to 100, and we just romp down this thing, like everybody's going to have a holy shit moment. It's going to be pretty awesome. I've experienced it. It's pretty cool, man.
Dan Bianchi, let it ride. He'll get those Seakeepers purchased and installed. Check him out. We're going to be doing some sea trials
Coming
here
quick.
soon with the Seakeeper ride. So make sure you tune in on the information on that. If you have really any style boat, you know, a lot of people relate Seakeeper to deep water stuff.
Big yachts and stuff.
Yachts and no, I'm telling you right now, that is you will change the whole feel ride of any bay boat skiff.
After witnessing the reaction of Dan Bianchi's face, I knew right there something was real.
Yeah, seriously. So make sure you stay tuned for those sea trials if you're interested. All right, so let's check out the Extreme Decalz catch of the week and see what has been caught this week. Hey, that was a pretty cool one. Bull shark, right?
Yes.
Yep, from the Hispanic cousin Panic.
I think he never got his lure back.
Oh, nice.
Is he jigging? He's got the lure up.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen a flounder in a hot
Yeah.
minute.
Flounder in the red.
Oh, I love that. That cooler, so cool. Nice looking shirt.
Yes. Styling.
Such a pleasant young man, too. Captain
Nice.
Gene.
He was out there, that had to have been 3 days ago. It was glassy out there.
That's like one of those supermodel trout. Tall
Yep.
and slender.
Happy 90th birthday to this man right here.
Oh, yeah.
Got
Happy
himself a nice
birthday.
red.
It was today.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was today.
How cool would that be to see your 90th birthday? That's a nice.
There's Mr. Lemon.
Yep. Hiding
So,
underneath the
all right. So, can we stay on this photo for a second, Bree? All right. What's some defined details of the lemon shark?
Easiest way to tell a lemon shark from any of the other sharks out there, look at the dorsal fin. It looks like it has a pair of dorsal fins on his back, one in front or one in the middle and one towards the rear. But that second, I don't remember what it's called, but that second dorsal in the rear stands much higher on a lemon shark than any other shark.
Perfect. What about those little side
Pectorals?
Yeah, are those going to be a little more defined too?
Possibly. They kind of look like it. It looks like all of the rear fins are a little bit bigger on the lemon sharks than they are all the other sharks. Most of the
So
other
they
sharks.
outmaneuver all the redfish out there.
Yeah, they can turn on a dime. That's for sure.
So their rear items are larger than.
Yes, but
So-
the defining one is that second dorsal right in front of the tail.
Okay.
I don't know if the back dorsal is bigger than normal or the front dorsal is smaller than normal, or maybe a little bit of both.
A little both, yeah.
They got a little junk in the trunk.
Yeah, he's a little thick.
Along with our redfish.
Yeah, that's a nice
red off
redfish.
there.
Good deal. With the wife beater. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Captain Aaron.
Good days out there.
Here's a
Bonnet. Bonnet head.
Yeah. Good. That's the number one mistaken shark out there.
Yep.
Especially on airboat tours, as everybody says that's
Hammer.
a hammerhead. Oh, hammerhead. The eyes are still in the normal spot on a shark, and it's more rounded like a bonnet, not a hammer.
Shovel. Shovel head.
Well, there is actually a shovelhead shark as well.
Scallop. I think it's a scallop head. It's got ridges like a scallop.
Ooh. Like a
Fun fact of the day.
Aaron got out there heavy this week.
There is some.
Got out there hefty?
out there.
Yeah, he's out there a hefty amount of time.
It's some nice heft. Look at that Bubba net in the background. Love it. Hey, look at there, man. 3-5. You know, that was the first flag football tournament win for a Citrus County based team. But the cool part is in that same tournament, 4 Citrus County teams won their divisions.
Love it. Love it. Taking home that gold.
Yeah, dude, this whole flag football thing is taking off. I want to say that there was, in this one tournament, that there was like 14 or 13 different Citrus County teams in
That's
this
awesome.
one tournament. So it's
That's awesome.
really cool seeing the movement Corey Edwards created on that.
Nice pair of reds.
Captain Jacobus. There's that cobia.
Look at that.
That thing didn't end up being a keeper.
Really?
Half inch short.
It's
Yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, as stout as that thing
Typical of Jacob to come in short.
is. Yeah.
Half inch. Story of
Poor
my
fella.
Aw.
There's a very nice
James.
snook. Saw a bunch of those out there today.
Of course, it's after the season.
Yep.
Some reds. More reds.
Jessica getting out there. Ooh, on fly. That took some effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's his first redfish on the fly. Good deal.
It's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Justin.
He just commented and said, and his last. Just kidding.
Little Cobe action.
Wild man
Nice
himself.
reds.
Love that guy. Who's he fishing with there?
I don't know. It looked like he was in a Ginu, didn't
Yeah.
it? Good reds.
Getting it done.
Larry. Oh my God. Only Ozzy. Lair
Y'all
Bear.
Get you some.
Caught himself a cone.
God, he's an awesome dude. I love that guy. Looks like Joe Biden sitting there in that cone.
In his later years.
Skinny
Very
the
nice.
man.
Getting out there on that airboat fishing.
I think we finally found the special spot for that wood carving he made us.
Yes.
Plenty of reds out there, that's for sure.
Oh,
Dang,
to say
he's
the least.
killing it, man.
One after another
awesome.
coming from Skinny.
Good deal.
Wouldn't be.
Those redfish weren't skinny though.
No, they weren't.
All right, so that was this week's catch of the week, presented by Extreme Decalz. I'm really excited. We're going to get in there and do some work to the boat once I get it back from the one and only James Curry, getting some glass work done, and then Brian's going to put his hands on it. And
Oh, yeah.
I love bringing it to Brian.
I know. I can't wait to bring in my truck for the final touches.
So
It's coming soon.
you need anything custom, and I mean, he will upgrade anything that you own.
Oh, yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, I mean, my old square body, he's making me one-off pieces that just isn't offered, and I appreciate it.
Much so. All right, Bree, do we want to do a commercial and then go over to Captain Marrio, or do you want to go straight to Captain Mario?
I don't think she could hear you.
Yeah, I think her mic's off.
It
there we
doesn't
go.
matter.
All right.
Oh, that's what she said.
There it is. All right, so let's go over to Captain Marrio on the Ayinde Matthews State Farm casting couch. Make sure, if you plan on going out and doing some shark fishing or swimming, go ahead and get that life policy updated with the Ayinde.
He'll
over at
appreciate
State
it.
Farm. Yeah.
Everybody will appreciate it. Yeah, that's for sure.
Captain Marrio, we're officially in summer. It's blistering hot.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You're starting to see less and less trout brought in. Redfish seems to be the stuff on the menu.
Oh yeah.
Besides redfish, I mean, what's some other species that you could bring your clients out and specifically target this time of the year and have some fun?
Now the snook fishing.
Snook?
Snook fishing is always one of my go-tos. I love it. These snook around here, they've kind of been trained a little bit to eat a specific bait, and it's a little bit tough because when I go snook fishing, I'm mostly throwing artificials. I like throwing that 5.5-inch jerk bait, the DOA Cal, that glow. I love that bait, and it works great for snook. A little bit more difficult as the years go by to get them to eat that here. But if you go travel a little bit further north, anywhere from, we'll say, the Crystal River Channel north, they seem to not be aware as much. And they will readily eat that bait. It's my #1 go-to bait for snook. And it seems to be they're a little bit bigger up there too. So that's another plus. Glad they're out of season though right now, because we do catch a lot of them in May and June and July. But these snook, they travel anywhere you have structure. You're going to find a lot of these snook, and deeper structure also. Anything from 4 to, we'll just say 8, 9, 10 feet. That deep structure, rock piles especially, any of the deeper holes, like Billy was saying, he ran over a few holes this week that they were just stack loaded full of snook, and they like to sit in those deeper holes. But anywhere you have a structure like or a grade change, they're gonna gravitate towards that. They do like a little bit of break from the current. They'll sit there and wait for the baits to wash past them or wash over them. The darker water, I shouldn't say darker, the dirtier water, it seems to be they're more readily able to eat the artificials than in the cleaner water. Doesn't mean you can't catch them in the clean water, but you got to work for it in the clean water.
They see everything.
Yeah, they do. They see it all. They've seen it all too. I mean, we have so many people out there fishing, throwing everything under the sun. Even the fly fishermen, they're having trouble with them also, because, like I said, the water's so clean and clear we have right outside of Ozello that it's a little bit difficult at times. But I like going a little further north, anywhere from, like I said, the Crystal River Channel north all the way up to Wakasasa. That water, we call it Yankeetown brown. It's just a little bit dingy colored, and for some reason it sets them off to where they'll eat an artificial pretty readily. I actually would rather throw an artificial than live bait for them. If you are going to throw live bait, hand-sized pinfish is always good, and I like free lining them. What we would do is we would set up on a shoreline or on structure. We'll throw out a live bait close to the shore, and we would free line it. No weight at all. Try to use nothing smaller than a 30-pound leader. 40 is good. A lot of times what we'll do is, if you're running light leader, we'll just say you're running a 25-pound leader, I would put maybe an 8-inch or a 10-inch bite tippet on the very end of at least 40 with a 5/0 hook. I like using J hooks instead of circle hooks for snook specifically. What a snook does when it attacks a bait, especially one that's free line, I don't know if you've ever seen some of these other fish, maybe some like jack crevalles, redfish, and some of these other predatory fish. When they come up and they grab a bait, they will turn immediately and kind of swim back towards the direction where they came from. And circle hooks work great when you have fish like that. But for some reason, a snook, when it grabs a bait, it'll come up, grab the bait, and it'll keep coming towards you. It very seldom does it turn. So that's the single reason that I like using a J hook, because a circle hook does not work when the fish is coming straight at you.
You gotta be quick on the retrieve.
Yes.
I noticed they can turn on a 90-degree angle too.
Yeah.
So Marrio, when fishing the deeper holes, how would you go about that? Like, how would you fish those deeper holes versus against the islands?
A lot of times I will use that DOA cal on a jig head. And what I would do, figure out which way the current's moving. You want to typically be up current of the hole. Anchor down, and I would, instead of casting in front or behind the hole, I would cast either to the left or the right of it. And what I do is throw it out there, let it drop down on the very corner of the hole, right where the hole starts. I'll twitch it up and let it sink, and what that does is that bait's going to go from the corner. When you twitch it up, it's going to fall a couple of feet towards the deeper. And then he gets down to the bottom, twitch it up, it's going to fall another couple feet towards the deep. And what that does is it covers the entire part of the bottom section of that hole. And a lot of times when these snook are lazy, if that bait's 3-4 feet away from him, he can see it, but he's not going to eat it. So what that does is it gives it a chance to get right in front of his face. And when that thing drops in front of his face, he's going to slam it. He's going to hit it hard. Yeah, the snook don't nibble. When you get a hit by a snook in the clean, shallow water with it inside of a deep hole, you're going to feel it. If you
didn't get a bite on that first cast, would you hammer that hole a couple more times?
I usually give it about 3 shots.
Okay.
Yeah, after the third shot, if you didn't get anything, then I would normally either fish a different shoreline, find a different hole. I would just move on. It's a little bit different than when you're redfishing. I fish a shoreline for redfish for maybe 15-20 minutes. If I don't get nothing, I'll leave. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes, I should say. For snook, after the third try, no, I'll give up and move. Because more than likely, if they're not going to hit it on the third try, they're not going to hit it at all. Usually they'll do it on the first one. And if there's a school of snook in there, it's going to be the biggest snook that hits it. Yeah, he's top dog in that hole. So.
This is all reminding me of high school parties all over again. After the third try, you got to give up.
Yeah,
the one that's going to slam it the hardest, the biggest one. Fishing. We used to fish a lot in high school.
Oh yeah,
lots of fishing.
But the snook's a good go-to target this time of year. You can always do the catch and release grouper. There's a ton of them out there. Now, we've had some shortened seasons. They seem to multiply a lot more when you don't keep them the year before. So we have quite a few of them out there. They can range from 18-20 inches, and every now and again we catch one of them 36, 38, 40-inch big donkeys.
Yep.
And those are always fun. Everybody trolls for them. I don't like trolling myself, but you can troll for them. I do like dropping jigs. I'm a jig fisherman. I love jig fishing. But I like dropping these big 1 ounce big jigs with big tails on them and just working structure. We actually had some here. Yeah.
What is it, Maddox?
Yeah, the Maddox baits, they make some really nice ones. A 3/4 ounce head or a 1 ounce head, depending on how deep you fish. Yeah, he's got some right there. Big plastic baits.
And a great color, too.
Just about any color, yeah. And the black and silvers work really good. The whites work really good. And for some reason, purple is a really good go-to for the grouper around structure on the jig heads. They work good on plugs too. The purple and white plugs work pretty good too. But those jigs are my go-to. There's that pearl. The pearl white ones work really good. But you can work those really hard. You don't have to work them really subtle. You can actually work them extremely hard, and they work well. And because the grouper's it's a reaction strike. You're just trying to pull it away from his face, and he's going to come up and hit it because he doesn't like you.
So you think it's more of the action versus the color?
A little, I believe it is. Yeah, the vibration and the action. Like I said, it's like a dog chasing the squirrel. He doesn't really want to eat the squirrel. He just wants to kill it. So that's as long as it's moving, twitching, doing some erratic stuff, the grouper will definitely hit it. And again, that's one of those things where you'll have 8 or 10 groupers sitting on a rock pile. The biggest one's going to hit it first.
Yeah.
Because he's the king of the crowd there. So, but it's something to do other than red fishing. Although I love red fishing.
I like
Hard to say no
I like
to.
to fish for grunts.
Yeah, red fishing's
That's my
fun
fishing
too.
choice.
I just don't like cleaning them,
Yep.
Yeah, you can be a pain in the butt to clean a table full of grunts.
but they do taste great.
They do. Yeah.
Jack Crevel.
Jacks are pretty fun. This time of year, you can find them just about anywhere. Anywhere there's current and bait, you're going to find jacks.
I've been seeing them blow up a lot, and not quite the backwaters, but our side of Salt River up here. There's been a lot of bait back there, and they've been hammering them at the surface. Been pretty cool as we're running to Homosassa through Greenleaf Bay and all that.
We
Some
have a
good
big
jacks.
run of them in Crystal River in October, right when it starts to get cooler. When that water temp's been 90 degrees all summer and it starts to drop in the low 80s, right about that 80 to 81 degree temperature, when it stays steady there, you'll see jack crevalles all over the place, chasing the little fry baits that you see, the big schools of fry baits all over the place.
So if I wanted to specifically target sharks, how would I go about that? Would I just park my boat on the grass plots, throw out some chum and some big baits and wait?
You can do that.
Yeah.
There's many ways you can do that. With big sharks, if I was going to target big sharks, I would go where the redfish are at, because that's where they're at. Find an island, find some good cut bait, cut mullet, cut ladyfish, just about anything. Big chunk, throw it out there, and give it about 60 seconds. And something's going to come up and grab it. And you have to use pretty heavy wire. I use 90-pound wire, single strand wire. We put some pretty good size hooks on it. A lot of times I'll put a stinger rig on the hook too. You know, I put 2 of them together, use long shank hooks, and we'll just double them up and leave one without any bait on it and put the bait into the front one. And it's usually that back hook that usually catches them. So.
I know we always enjoyed going, I mean, hate to say it, but the scallop grounds.
Yeah, and
Going
really
out there to the
anywhere.
scallop grounds, I mean, you know, play around the foul area. There's a lot of big nurse sharks to catch in the foul area, but at the same time, you chum enough, there's deep enough water for some rather large animals to come through.
Shrimp boat out there.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
any kind of structure. Yeah, they're going to hang out any kind of structure. Anything that attracts fish, they're going to attract the sharks, because the sharks are just going to go where the fish are at.
Absolutely, follow the food.
Take some kids with me.
Yeah.
They can
But out in that-
around in the water and
There it
attract
is.
the sharks.
Yeah, in that foul area, there's, you know, like you were saying, there's grunts all over the place on those rock piles in that foul area, and the sharks just kind of go from rock pile to rock pile looking for food. So that's a great place. But anywhere there's a large abundance of fish, the sharks are going to be.
Also fish for Kobe at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot of
100%.
cobia out there. They hang out with the tiger sharks. I mean, they'll actually swim around with the tiger sharks.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, they'll eat their scraps.
I'm not gonna lie, that tiger shark is one of the most intimidating to me.
Yeah.
Even being on the boat there, it's the only species I've been able to idle next to.
They're not scared.
Not at all,
They ain't
and that
scared.
is that's pretty wild to me.
Yeah,
Have a 20-foot boat, you know, cruise up against a 5 to 7 foot shark,
yeah.
and it just looks at you like, well, what are you gonna do?
that thing knows it's at the top of the food chain, and he don't care.
It's
But
the only species I've never seen run
Yeah,
per
but
se. It's like, oh, well, that's
they will not
comforting.
run from the boat. Definitely. Yeah, they don't have feet. Yeah, definitely.
Good deal.
Yep, the shark fishing thing's it's always fun. I always try to keep a big rig ready to go. Like I said, 90-pound single strand wire. Got a couple of pretty good size hooks, whatever hooks you can find, from anywhere from 8/0 to 11/0. And I put 2 hooks on each rig. First hook gets the bait, second hook just flops around. Because when them sharks grab it, they're pretty violent when they grab food. So it's going to find one of those baits, or one of those hooks is going to find that shark's mouth, and you don't usually miss when you have the stinger rigs. It's pretty easy. You ought to try it. Have some fun with it.
Good practice too. I mean, you know, honestly, if we all got out there and started shark fishing, you know, in these redfish areas, these sharks are smart. It's probably going to detour them from these specific areas.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Sounds good in theory.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Worth a shark fight.
Yeah. It sure is fun though. And watch out when the lemon sharks, they will stay under your boat. So when you go to pick fish up or release fish, you really gotta pay attention because those lemon sharks will come out from like nowhere. They like, I don't know. It's just crazy. I've seen 4 or 5 lemon sharks underneath my boat. When we go to release redfish, all of them come out at the same time, and it scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, they sneak up from under you, and they don't even know they entered there.
No, I know it's really scary, but just keep an eye out, keep wary that they're here, and don't take them out of the water to take pictures. You cannot do that with lemon sharks. They're protected. They have to have, I guess there's a certain percentage of their body that has to stay in the water. But you don't want to take them out of the water to take pictures.
You definitely want to keep an eye on all the laws when it comes to sharks. There's a pile of them like that.
Yeah,
pretty sure you can't specifically target tiger. Is that correct?
I don't know about targeting them, but it goes with the same with the tiger sharks. You can't take them out of the water for photos. So if you're going to take a photo with them, you have to get in the water with them.
Man, don't do that.
Yeah.
Goliath grouper, same way.
Yeah.
Goliath grouper, you can't, if they're over a certain amount or whatever. Tarpon, over John knows this one. 40 inches, John?
Yeah, I believe it's 40. Yeah,
40 inches.
40. Maybe it might be 48, but it's 40 something. So
make sure you know those laws, like Billy said.
Yeah, do some studying.
Mario, that's some good information, man. Great time of the year to get out. There's not a lot of traffic out there. This weekend, there's going to be a lot of traffic.
Yeah. Today and yesterday, I may have seen a dozen boats in grand total.
Yep. That's my favorite
Been nice
time
that
of the
way.
year. May is my favorite time of the year to fish anyway. But
just coming out of the transitions.
Yeah, I really think it just boils down to not a lot of boats out there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's Captain Marrio over there on the Ayinde Matthews State Farm casting couch. Again, if you plan on getting in the water and taking your photos with those sharks, hit up our boy Ayinde and get yourself a good light policy. So let's go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking some tackle on the table right here. So be right back.
Come join the fastest growing Redfish series in the country as they kick off their 2025 season at Seakeeper Marina in Steinhatchee on January 25th, Panama City February 22nd, Jacksonville March 15th, Panacea April 12th, Cedar Key May 10th, St. Augustine May 31st. Then join us as we crown our champions September 19th and 20th in Steinhatchee at Seakeeper Marina. For more information, visit our website, flredfishseries.com, or check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
All right, we are back at the Nature Coast Financial Advisors Tackle Table Talk. It's another good one to hit up if you plan on getting in the water with some sharks, take some photos after you get your insurance, and then go see our guy Gary Marriage to get all your affairs in order before you start doing that type of stuff. All right, so got some cool tackle here. We talk about the submerged popping corks all the time. They're getting really popular. As soon as we get them in, they go off the shelf. One thing that I don't like as a retailer is we don't see a lot of people coming back to buy them often because they are doing their jobs. These things are break proof. The only way that you're going to need to replenish these is if it broke off. But having that flexible wire inside. Again, I'm going to go real quick on this because we've talked about this a lot. But that's the big difference is, Jerry's got this thing figured out. This is all completely flexible. So I know it's real annoying when you're using your standard popping cork and you got a hard wire here and that thing bends once. It's never going to be the same again. But he's got it figured out. He's got the perfect weight set up. Great noise. Nice and loud, but it's got some good weight. I pretty much switch over to popping corks this time of the year for everything that I do. Captain Mario's talked about it before, using the chunked mullet on those big incoming tides, using a popping cork to just barely move that chunked mullet right down the mangrove edge. And it's not necessarily so much to move it. It's going to move no matter what with the current, but it's to track it more than anything. You know, it's a lot easier to let some line out and see where this cork is than trying to guess in your head if you're free lining. So popping corks are big this time of the year, and Submerged has the best on the market. These are the only ones we sell.
If the current's going to the right and all of a sudden your cork starts going to the left, you might want to check your line.
You might want to get ready.
I like about Submerged also, it is a one-man band. He is in his living room making them.
Absolutely. He's a fisherman. I mean, he's an angler that made stuff that works for him.
And it's local.
And he's local, yeah. And he supports.
Love that part of it.
Yeah, he supports everything. Now, a new product he came out with. Really excited about using this thing. This is like his spinner bait. I do not use spinner baits because almost all of them are overly obnoxious. And I don't know if you ever fish with artificial in our area, but spinner baits just do not work like you think that they would. You get up to Cedar Key, that area, yeah, I'm sure they're great. But again, it feels like you're trying to reel a big shop fan through the water. And it's hard to really picture a lot of attention on it. From the fish, but this thing's real simple. It's got a really great design, makes a little bit of noise, has a nice small little flash to it. I foresee this working amazing between, let's say, in like P-Pass, where you're going to have more of that siltier water areas, not as clear, just a nice subtle flash going through the water. It's going to be ideal for there. Mason Creek to Chaz Point, that whole area, Milky Pass. I'm really excited to go, put this thing in those areas. Those are the areas that I live in during this time of the year. When I was saying I like to try to get away from the traffic, love that spot.
That, and I like that he went with that hook style.
Yes, that's the next thing.
Yeah.
So, a white paddle tail, this is my go-to. Something small. This one's actually a little bit bigger than I would be throwing, but it's the only thing I had underneath of this table. This is a saltwater assassin product here. Good lure. Before you hook anything up, each one's different. Kind of put it to the side like that and see exactly how it would line up before you run this thing through, because there's nothing more annoying than trying to feed that hook back out and trying to come out a different hole, and then the lure is messed up at that point. So you can see right away that the barb is going to come out the top, and then you want to start your first hole right in the top, and then you're going to come out a different hole right there in the mouth. So we'll start this just like that, and then we'll just come right back out. Feed it through. This one is used, so if it rips, it's on whoever used it last. All right, then we're gonna take this, kind of feed it back in, make sure I don't get this hook through my finger, and then there we go. So you can see right here the attraction already. I mean, it's subtle, but it's just flashy enough. I think it might cause some cool attention. So.
Weedless at the same time.
And it's weedless.
Lots of vibration.
Yep. I mean, I want to go fishing right now, actually. Like this thing is truly, truly, truly exciting me. It's a really cool idea he had, and hats off to Jerry. So, all right, so that's submerged gear, and actually we're going to be giving away some submerged stuff tonight with the question of the week. So let's do a cork combo here. Do yellow. We'll do green oval, pink oval. We'll do a Mad Skills electric camo hat here with that American flag mesh. And I'm not giving away the spinner because that's my only one. So. And a Bubba Buff. So, all right. A lot of you may have seen it. A lot of you may have not. So that's all more reason to follow our Facebook page on our social media. We posted a video just, I don't know, Bree, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago?
Yeah, about 2 days ago.
Of a snake swimming right across the Salt River while we were on an airboat tour. And it was a beautiful snake. I thought it was one type of snake. Billy actually schooled me on it. And so we decided to put it on social media to see how many people would know this answer. And it was across the board. I would say it was 33% of somebody that got it right or wrong. So, or just had no idea what they were talking about, or made a joke about it. There was some good stuff. So if you saw that video, the first 10, is it 10 or 12?
12.
The first 12 people to tell me right now the type of snake and be specific that snake was is going to have a chance to win this prize package tonight. So it was the video that we posted. It's gone crazy viral. So
we're looking for the specific species of snake.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. What
Correct.
species of snake was swimming across Salt River? It's not a very common one.
In the video that we posted 2
Not a
days
very
ago.
common one. They are out here. If you like to play in the woods, it's not one you want to run into. Yeah, at all.
No snake. I don't want to run into any snake, except the python.
I do want to find that one.
I want to find a python. I thought there was a split, Billy. I'm not joking, you, man. There was a very defined moment in my head and said, "Oh my God, is that a python?"
Are we about to find our first one?
Yeah. Then I realized that it's not worth taking the chance on. So, all
Where's
right,
my Bubba net?
Bray, do we have any more commercials while we're waiting?
My name is Captain Gary Bartell Jr., and I own Ozello Keys Marina and Fish Talk Live. We do everything from sling shrimp, fishing charters, airboat tours. We became mostly a hub for the small town of Ozello. It's became a big family, is what Ozello Keys Marina is. It's a community. September 2024, we had Hurricane Helene put 5.5 feet of water inside of our building the night that the storm was supposed to hit. Something that we came up with was setting up a pump system inside of our store, but we knew we were going to lose power. So this power station from Abyss set this up as high as possible, plug it into a 110, let it stay charged, plug our pump system into this on a float switch. So when the power does cut out, this is going to last for a long time with the pumps that we had, and it got the job done. We're very optimistic, and we like to come back stronger than what we left with. So because of our community, because of our friends, our team, our partners, we created something really special, and today is the first day that we got to open the doors to everybody. This is one of our biggest successes, going through the storm, is having power when you don't have power. But behind every great product is a great person and a great team. And that is what we learned, is that when you're partnering with someone, you're partnering with a partner. And Abyss Batteries has been that since day one. The team at Abyss Batteries will bend over backwards and do whatever is needed to make sure that you are successful in life, successful with their product, successful in business. And that is the reason why we are partners with Abyss Batteries. Everything that helped us get us through Hurricane Helene, everything that gets us through the fishing tournaments, has got us many trophies. You can get it right here at OKM. So stop by, check it out for yourself. We have guides here that run them religiously. They are going to give you the testimony that you want. So if you want the ultimate fishing experience where you don't have to worry about your batteries dying like that, if you want ease of mind if your power goes out but you don't want the noisy generator, come to OKM, we'll get you taken care of.
There she is.
All right, we're back. So apparently only 6 of you have gotten this
we
correct.
could just give them 2 logos apiece.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
yeah.
have them
All right,
have
so
the
only
logos go
6 of
across
you,
them
only
over.
6 of you got it correct during the commercial break. So the 6 of you, because you're paying attention, are going to get 2 logos apiece. I like that idea, John. So let me see those 6 names.
I have them occasionally.
All right.
Can you read my chicken scratch?
So Kyle,
Worse than his.
I'm going to assume that's Kyle H.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the answer was the Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnake. And
I even took Diamondback. I wasn't concerned about the eastern portion.
What about
yeah,
the rest of them?
Diamondback's fine. Yeah, no, I'm good with that. Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnake was the answer. A lot of people were saying moccasin. That was my first thought. Then Billy pointed out, they're not that defined on the diamonds on the back.
They usually get mighty black at that size.
Yep. So a lot of people said water snake, but same thing.
Yep.
A water snake and a cottonmouth are very
similar in color-wise.
And then a lot of people are saying that rattlesnakes don't swim unless their rattles are up. That's not true.
No.
So it's an eastern diamondback rattle. She was about 4.5, 5 foot.
Good.
Going in the right direction, away from the marina. All right, so we got Kyle H., Jerry Rose, Ray Cruz, Jessica, Raymond Cruz, Thomas Holliday. All right, so Kyle, all right, so we're going to start.
Let's just have them go right across. They'll have a 50-50 shot.
Okay, so Kyle will be Ozello, Keys Marina, and BAJÍO. All right. Jerry Rose, marker 48, Abyss Battery. Ray Cruz, Extreme Phone Decking, Florida Redfish Series.
Make sure y'all are keeping track, because I'm not. Gary's got
Nature Coast Financial Advisors will be Jessica, and that'd be State Farm, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ray, you're going to be Bubba
Bubba pole.
and Power Pole, and Thomas.
The Power Bubba.
You will be Extreme Decalz and Submerse. So, Billy, go ahead.
Oh, that one's too much. A little bit. Abyss Battery.
I forgot.
Marker 48.
Okay, so which one have you won?
I forgot.
I told them to keep track.
So that would be the second person, Jerry Rose. Jerry Rose, because
Yep, it would have been. We went this direction.
yes, Jerry Rose, congratulations, you just won.
How about it?
How about it? All right, guys. Mario, why don't you give us a little details on your show next week?
All right.
What do we got next week?
We've got Captain Lisa Fitzgerald
Oh, how about
from
it?
the CCA Florida Star Tournament. She's the director. She's going to be talking about everything that's going on this year for the CCA Florida Star Tournament. I believe she's going to set up, if you guys haven't already entered, because I believe it starts the day before the seminar starts. If you haven't entered, I believe she's going to set up to where you can enter right there at the seminar.
Very nice.
She's going to talk about that. She's going to talk a little bit about her times as she was tournament fishing. I don't know. She spent 5, 6, 7 years fishing on the Redfish tour. She'll talk a little bit about that and just a little bit about everything. Some of the baits she uses, some of the techniques she uses, but she's really good. I'm interested in what she's got to talk about, what's new with the CCA Florida Star Tournament this year. So
Absolutely. Look forward to being there myself.
yeah, definitely. But she'll be there answering questions, doing all the fun stuff, signing everybody up. So you want to come, and actually see it live. But I will be running it on TikTok also. But it's not the same. You can't win anything there either.
So you can have dinner with us.
You have to be there to win all the cool stuff that we give away. So
And where is that and what time?
that's at Cedar River Seafood in Crystal River, right off of 19, right across from the Kia dealership. And the speaking starts at 7, usually goes on till about 8:15, 8:30-ish.
Very nice.
Somewhere around there. And like I said, since she's signing up, we might start a little bit late because we'll have a bunch of people trying to sign up. Might stay a little bit later after that too. So either way, it's going to be a good time.
Well, much appreciated. Look forward to it next Tuesday. And thank you all very much for tuning in with us. Thank you to all of our local sponsors that help keep this show on the road.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And we will see you all in 2 Tuesdays.